Tonight on the world premiere Word on the Streets, we're stepping into a conversation every relationship faces, but most people avoid. What really happens when love and money collide? Money doesn't just reveal spending habits, it reveals trust, communication, boundaries, and emotional truth. When the heart and the wallet meet, you find out who's honest, who's hiding, who's planning, and who's pretending. This episode is for couples trying to build a future, singles preparing for partnership, and anyone who's ever felt the tension between financial pressure and emotional peace. Larry Xtradonaire Moton, the Amazing Keith Fletcher, and Mr. Vincent Craig are breaking down how transparency, teamwork, and truth can transform your relationship. Let's get into it.
Greetings and welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets. We're live every Thursday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. Don't miss out. After a week full of noise, constant confusion, and distraction, this is the show that cuts through the clutter. It's the hour of the week where real talk meets real truth. We bring conversations that challenge the status quo and stir something deeper in the soul. This isn't just commentary, it's clarity, purpose, and elevation. When you tune in, you're not just watching, you're waking up. A place where common sense still matters and lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, this is the world premiere Word on the Streets. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Put your hearts and hands together for the man who discovered his purpose and lives it loud, Larry Xtradonaire Moton. And Mr. Gotta Get Your Mind Right and Open Your Eyes to the Blind Truth, the motivator himself, the amazing Keith Fletcher. And the man who brings clarity to chaos with the voice of reason you can't ignore, the one and only Mr. Vincent Craig. Make no mistake, there is no word without our host. Welcome to the movement. Welcome to the message. Welcome to the world premiere, Word on the Streets.
And here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are again. Welcome back. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the world premiere Word on the Streets. Friends, we're so glad you're here. And before we get started, friends, we just want to let you know what our topic is going to be about tonight. Hopefully you will find it very interesting. Tonight we're going to be chopping it up on when love and money collide. Now, we already know the challenges we have with each other, with one another. Man, when you throw money in the pot, it gets real hot. But before we dive in case you all don't know, world premiere Word on the Streets is so interested and so popular because we just happen to have a man who have defeated stage 4 cancer. A man who's not only live 2 and 3 times a week on Facebook, giving his points of view on all different subject and matter, but in particular, how to change your life. Speaking about the subject right here tonight, friends, talking about money, and we all know how touchy that subject is. We're fortunate to have such a man in this community, on this platform. And in case you want to get more of him, look for The Blind Truth on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel and support him. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, I'm talking about the one and only, the amazing Mr. Keith Fletcher. Yeah. And tonight, just like always, friends, we come on at 7:30 sharp. If any of you all live in a metropolitan area, you know how thick traffic is. And you know getting home, it's not just getting home like down here in southwest Louisiana where I live, or from the small town that I grew up in, where you could just 2 or 3 miles cross the railroad track, you're at home. No. This next gentleman, he lives in the he works in the metropolitan area of Dallas, Texas. He drives through all that traffic just to be here with you. We're a premier word on the street community. And when summertime come, when most of us kicking it back, laying out on the beach, having fun at the park, catching some sun, friend frisbee, this man is giving up his time teaching and guiding young folks in the community, molding them, shaping them to what it is to be a man. And don't we need more of that, friends? This man bring reason to chaos, not just here on this platform, but on this job as well. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love for the one and only Mr. Vincent Craig.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, brothers. And I am Xtradonaire, friends, and I too have a YouTube channel. It's called Personal Development for the Soul. I would love it so much if you drive over there sometime, check it out, and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to that show as well. We're so happy to be back and to be on, friend. This is a very, very touchy subject because personally, anytime you talk about money, that's a sensitive area in and of itself. And when you talk about relationship, that's extremely sensitive. You can just take money off the deck. And man, let me tell you, look, I've been married, I've been divorced, I've had relationships, I've lost I mean, because this is so sticky, it's so touchy, it's so sensitive. But look, I don't know. I know these gentlemen, they biting at the bone and want to get on and start talking about this. So I'm a move, I'm a slide out of the way. And brothers, won't y'all come on in, man? I want to just kind of lean in the background and come in much, 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 much later. Who want to kick this program off?
No, I kick it off. Good evening, Keith. Good evening, Larry. Glad to be here sharing the podium with y'all. Audience, make sure you please hit that like button. If you find something interesting, please make sure you put a comment inside the chat. We're also wanting to get engaged with the audience as well. Selena, thank you for joining as well. Glad to have you back. For me, when I look at the title, man, when I went into the blog, I was laughing because the first thing I think about when it says talking about love and money, we all have kind of joked about it, but we've heard, and I don't know, we're all in the merit spectrum. Y'all know the term, her money is her money. My money, no, yeah. My money is our money, but her money is her money, right? So we may joke about that, but there's some truth to that in a sense, but we kind of joke about it. It's a fine line, man, when we're talking about love and money, because again, in reading the blog, where money kind of reveals people, but given time, people show who they are, and then you start treating them accordingly. It's a thin line when you're talking about your wife or your significant other and the goals that y'all both have. I was reading the blog and it talked about unspoken expectations. I think when we have expectations and we put them on people without sharing the vision, it creates chaos and it can create some sticky situations. We have to be able to have open communications, even though we may not always agree on certain things. There has to be a level of respect when the other person is sharing their vision, right? someone has to be the decision maker to actually. Sometimes I like to say use the veto, but my mindset is we have to be in agreement with some of the decisions, because the one thing that I hate is sometimes people use it against you. If you make a decision without them, sometimes they'll throw it in your face, right? So how do you prevent it from being thrown in your face? And I don't know about y'all, but for me, there's a joint account. There's my separate account for my fun stuff that I want to do and buy some gifts without her actually knowing it, right? And then she has hers, right? So there's a way of, we have an agreement as far as if something is over a certain price, we come together and say, hey, are you okay with this? Are we on the same page? And there are some moments where if it doesn't meet that threshold, we can just buy at will, right? Or use our fund money. So again, there's a lot to chew on this, man. So I'm just curious to see what you two have to say, as well as the audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, money for me, relationship money period is a big belief system. Belief thing. It's how a person believe about money, how a person believe about, like, as well as their religion. It's a belief. I think capitalism and Christianity, all that ties in together, because money, if people try to say it's the root of all evil, no, I don't. Money solve all things, but I just think most people don't know what money is for. You know what I'm saying? It's for things, but at a moderation, we don't do it at a moderation. So in a relationship, when you really meet somebody, you really don't talk about money. You talk about love. You know what I'm saying? You think that they pretty much know, they should know what we're gonna work together, we're in love, we want things, and we're gonna do it the right way. That's what we think. And then when that money comes and they start blinding you, each person want what they want. And like Vince said, no one that really communicated or came up with a plan. Especially when you're young. When you're young, you're trying to figure things out, trying to figure yourself out, and then y'all come together. You basically, especially if you ain't got it together, you trying to survive. And surviving is coming home, made it through the work, made it through the week, and you think, hey, baby, let's go out and do something for us. We deserve to have something. So that's what it is. And the women gonna go shopping and they're gonna put it in their trunk, or they're gonna hide it in the back of the closet. They're gonna do some things just because to get a little piece of happiness. You know what I'm saying? Get that feeling. Money make you feel a certain way when you want to do things and when you want to take a trip or whatever. So I would say this money thing is very important. I talk about it all the time, but I just think it's we use money as a feeling, not a tool. You know what I'm saying? We use it for something that's missing. You know what I'm saying? So with me and money in the relationship, I done had been married before, dated people. Money always been a problem. Money always had something to do with relationships, my relationship, good or bad, but money was always in it. And I think when it coming to the point now, and I ain't gonna go too deep. Coming to the point now, we gotta get the understanding of money, what money is used for. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not gonna say my opinion what I think it's used for, but right now, that's what it is. Just understanding what money really used for, and understanding the limits of money, your money, and what you willing to do. Now people say I should have this, I should have a happy wife, happy life. I say, what are you willing to do? I give you whatever you want. What are you willing to do to get that? You know what I'm saying? What we willing to do to get that?
I hear you, brothers. I hear y'all, man, and I'm on board with y'all. I really wish we had a female on the panel tonight,
Yeah.
because it concerns me that we're gonna give our views on this, and oftentimes our views have a conflict with a female point of view, because obviously with so much divorce going on in the world, we operate from different sides of the brain in a lot of cases. But I often hear this phrase, Fletcher and Vincent, that money reveals who you are. And 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 I was chewing. I kind of I think about that. Does money reveal who you are? And if it does, and as I don't know if it was you said it, Fletcher, was it you, Vincent, that we avoid talking about it with each other. Well, wouldn't you want to find out? Wouldn't you want to have that revelation? Uh, but yet, why the avoidance?
I think
What's
because there's some fear of the outcome of maybe what may have happened in either prior relationships. Some people, and sorry to cut you off,
no, no?
extra.
That's I asked the
Yeah,
question.
I'm reading a book, and it's called The Psychology of Money. I think honestly, some people have a bad relationship with money, and I think that's where it starts. So it creates a lot of traumatic events, and it's a trigger for some, right? Because of especially if you've, let's just say, I don't want to say had to just kind of really grind it out and get money. Like some people, like myself, at times as I continue to get better, you're afraid to let it go, right? So you really want to make sure that you're managing it right, but at the same time, you need to have the conversations with your partner or with everyone else because, again, just because you had a bad relationship and an experience, a lot of us didn't get the financial literacy class. We kind of learned that financial literacy class in life. Life taught us how to scrape and how to like hold every dollar and how to be good stewards of money, right? So again, yeah,
Yeah.
when when we when we when we bring that into when you combine that, if you don't have the discussions up front and early, you may encounter some issues. Give me one second. Give me one second, guys. Keith, can you go ahead and finish it up, boss?
Yeah, I read that book, Psychology of Money. That's a good book. Again, with me, and everybody got different things. When I first started talking about money, I come in full force. You know what I'm saying? You should do this, you should do that. You know what I'm saying? And realizing, like I said, I reading that book, started realizing people. You know, you think you come to help people solve a problem and all this. People don't want that problem to be solved because they feel, hey, they know, and when they get in the bind, they gonna hope, and they gonna pray, and it's gonna work itself out on its own. It'll work. It's gonna figure it out. You know, God, the most high, Jesus gonna save. You know what I'm saying? But I just need to have fun, and I'm gonna do that. Again, money and religion is tied in together. You know what I'm saying? It's a faith-based system. It feel like faith is gonna come in and make everything all right. I deserve to have it, and I feel good about it, and I'm ready to live with my decision. And when that decision comes, like I tell my kids, when the book life, it got good stories and it got some bad in the story. They end bad. Everything. I don't care how good a person you are. I don't care how many degrees you got. I don't care this. That story can end up bad. And I'm telling you, most of the time, it's about money. And in this world, we don't talk about money a lot because we've been told that money is evil. Having money, people are jealous because we don't understand. Really, it's the lack of understanding. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. When we get money, we have all these dreams as a kid. I'm gonna tell you a story. When I was a kid, I wasn't a kid when I was high school, going to high school. That I was going to live with my dad. Got in trouble. I'm moving to Texas. And I'm in my mind at night, I'm dreaming me and my dad is gonna do things together. It's just gonna be me and him, and we're gonna have fun. And when I got to Texas, now I've been going to Texas all for real the whole summer with my dad, most of the summer. But I had a stepmother, sister, and other people that I just blocked out my mind because I wanted what I wanted. I done made up something in my mind. And that's what people do. People make up their mind. They've been thinking about a wedding all their life. I'm gonna have a big wedding, and it don't matter, and they want it. I want the car of my dreams. I'm gonna get that car, and I deserve it, and I want it. It's what I want. I want this big diamond ring. It's for $50,000. Oh yeah, I gotta have a hat. People want, and the relationship again like this with money. But most people, when you have money, you gotta be responsible, and most people are irresponsible. That's the truth. Most people are irresponsible with money because my people perish for lack of
Now,
Mary,
I am so happy. I am so happy that we have a female guest who just seemed to have arrived. It's like my prayers were answered. Now, I'm so excited about that. And I love for you to come on, introduce yourself, and in your conversation, if you can also answer this question in the back of my head, is that is is secrecy, is that the same as lying in the relationship when we put the two together, relationship and money in these in this marriage thing? Won't you tell world premier word on the street community who you are and talk to us?
All right. Well, hi guys. Thank you for having me. I'm Lucy Craig. I am Vincent's wife. I appreciate you guys having me on. If I understand your question correctly, if secrecy and what was the other?
It's the same as is it the same
Is
as
it
lying?
is it the same as lying? Uh, I think they both kind of are on a line, like on a very thin line. I feel that there's supposed to be trust in a marriage. Um, you may not share, right, everything that you spend, for example. Like if I go and buy myself lunch, right? If I don't tell him, is that really me lying or is that me keeping a secret? It's really neither because it's I mean, I'm having lunch, right? So I think lying and secrets are both strong words because they require forethought, right? Like if you're trying to keep something a secret, you're really forcing yourself to it's premeditated, in my opinion. Versus,
So if you want to bought a pair of $2,000 shoes and he doesn't know about it, is that a secret or is that a lie?
I wouldn't do it though. Like to me, I wouldn't do it because so we
Vincent,
both,
she said she wouldn't do it with you sitting there.
yeah. I mean,
No,
I
I'm
feel
just,
that,
she wouldn't do it, but also I don't, even with her own money, I think she's conscious of that. So for her, I think even if it's within a certain limit that where she really feels like she doesn't have to run it by me, she has her own money, right? So she's able to do what she wants to do with her own money. Like I can't argue against that. Do I agree? I know we have a certain goal in mind as far as what we want to make to retire. So we have to stay within that plan. But what she makes and has on her own, that's hers, right? So it really depends when you ask that question of 2000, is it coming from our account or is it coming from hers?
yeah. And even for me, I don't think I would even if it were my money. I probably, because I want to have a relationship with him in which we're transparent with each other, I'm not just going to show up with a Louis Vuitton bag that I spent 3 grand on, just tell him, hey, look what I got. Because again, we have a plan. So if for any reason, say that 5 grand, we need it for something else, like it would be there for us. So I feel that just whether it's secrecy or lying, I feel that they're both strong words and they both kind of toe a line of not having trust in your person,
Right.
not
now,
feeling comfortable.
now I don't
Hold
mean to
on,
interrupt you,
Hold
but
on, Trinidad. Hold on.
right.
We talking about a $2,000 pair of shoes. Let's go back. How long y'all been married? I'm sorry.
This will be our
Five.
fifth. This will be our 5th year.
Have you? I'm talking about Vince. How long? I'm sorry. What's your name again? I'm sorry, Vince. I forgot it.
What? No,
Lucy.
you were
No,
at the
Vince, talk to
reception.
her.
Oh,
Wait,
hell no.
what's your name again, babe? Ma'am, I'm sorry, baby.
Nah, cut,
What's
hey,
your name?
you
No, no, Vince, let me
cut him
speak.
off.
Y'all done spoke. Let me speak. We ain't got long. Say your name again on there. I'm sorry.
Lucy.
Lucy, there you go. Lucy, I know I haven't seen you in a while, Lucy. So, Lucy,
It's
is this
okay.
your first marriage? You mind me
Is that
asking?
right?
Yeah.
He
What do
said,
you say?
is this your
Is this
first
your
marriage?
first
No.
marriage?
No.
No, it's not. Okay, yeah. So y'all came into the relationship. Y'all haven't been married that long. Y'all both had y'all own things together, right? Okay,
Yes.
so let's go a little further back. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to get deep into this in the weeds. Now, when you first got married, your first marriage, y'all built something together. That was, what I'm saying, y'all built together. I think Xtradonaire used a straw life. You know how you go, you're working trying to grow, and you go to the store and you buy some things, and you put them in your trunk, or you put them in the back of your closet. Did you ever do those things when you
Like if
bought
I
something?
buy, yeah,
No,
if
he
I,
said, did you do those
oh,
things,
did I
didn't he?
do that back then?
Yeah,
Oh, probably. If I just
yeah.
went and grabbed a $20 shirt, like,
Yeah, you were
yeah.
hiding. You were hiding. Then your husband say, "Oh, well, you had, oh, I've been had that shirt." Have that ever happened? You bought it, you put it in the bag, or you never told him. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, it's funny because my dad told me this when I was a kid, like from a very young age. He said to me, and maybe it doesn't come across the same because of the culture difference, but to me, he would say, "You don't hide your own secrets."
Yeah.
Because I was always just blurting out and saying what I did and what I didn't do. And like, so to me, again, I feel that if I'm not taking away from back then, if I wasn't taking away from food off the table or bills to pay or anything like that, if this is extra money that we were having, why not? Like I would just buy me that shirt if I liked it. But I would always say like, oh, look what I got. Like, so I don't know. I mean, I feel, and to this day, sometimes I do buy, something and then I don't tell him, or maybe I'll tell him later, oh, by the way, I got this. So I guess it just depends on the person.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm saying women, a lot of going. I'm saying a lot of relationships I've been in here and been in. I think women just do those things, and not like I said anybody control. Somebody would say you trying to control me, trying to do it, but it is more than just one shirt. It is more than just eating that lunch. Like I say, if you eat out every day, it start adding up. If you go shopping every day, it start adding up.
Yeah,
And
yep.
so that's what is the problem. It's not the little, I bought a shirt, what I'm saying, I ate out. It's the continuous eating out. Morning, I ate breakfast, I ate lunch, what I'm saying? Then on the weekend when the girls went out, it's those things that we had that caused the problem. It's the small filling up in the shirt. So those are things we saying that caused it. It's not the 2000. Yeah, you wouldn't do that, but we can be reckless with those small things in
Right.
The
the
small
relationship
things
that
that add
cause.
Yeah,
up.
and we've talked
Yeah.
about that too because to your point, yes, like they do add up. So
Hmm.
we have it set up to where, I have my little account that I use for lunch. Like I
Hmm.
have my little account that is used just that's my lunch money essentially for like the week, right? Or the month.
Yeah.
That's what I use it for. So I think as just from a female perspective, I feel that it's important for women to have their extra, little bag for those type of things, right? Because, I don't have to ask him for permission to buy myself undergarments.
Mm-mm.
Like, you know what I mean? I shouldn't have to. So having yourself kept properly and having maybe your little bag on the side, there's nothing wrong with that. We're not lying, we're not hiding stuff from each other. He knows it's there, but he knows what I use it for.
Yeah, I don't like I say. I know it's not the thing that we because I know I want to make that clear. It's not because somebody checking you and somebody saying I got to
Right.
hide it from you. It's the point is the adding up to it, and you start getting reckless with it. You start getting reckless, and now the plan that y'all sit down and came together with is blowing out the water. It's, what I'm saying, because of small things. Because sometimes, like again, you and Vince, I know Vince. Y'all track y'all money. Vince got budget, boards. He got. Everybody don't have that. That's a anomaly. Like again, y'all came into this relationship having your own thing, but I think it's different when you building something together over
Yeah.
time in life, and you trying to do them little things start building up and matter. But when you come in a relationship that you've been through, you know what I'm saying, been through something, and now y'all come together, you have your own money, he have his own money, y'all pretty much know what you want, you know what I'm saying? No, I can't, it's hard to say, hey, I'm gonna tell you what to do, put it all in one pot. Over
Right.
time, yeah, over time it took me and my wife, because we've been together 20 years, my wife, I'm 10 years older than my wife. So my money belief and her money belief was different. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, yeah, so we came in with different ideas. I came in. I'm gonna tell you, the guy like me. I believe I can give you. You can have whatever you want, but what are you willing to do to get it? I don't. You don't have to hide from me because I believe you should have whatever you want. I'm a different person because I believe money grow on trees. I can go make some money. I can make money out of that. That's what I believe. You know what I'm saying? And she know it. You know what I'm saying? Because like when the thing with when a woman sees some money, don't care how you got that money, and it's just sitting there and everything's right. We gonna spend it. Anybody gonna spend it. So I'm saying
Right.
that I would I believe, but nothing wrong with somebody having money. But if you got a plan, and most people, we talking about again, y'all know me. I don't care what you say. Most people don't do what Vince. I don't know about your relationship with money, Lucy, but I know Vince. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
we definitely have different beliefs.
yeah,
And you guys have probably already talked about, for example, like properties and stuff. Like, to me, a house is an investment. He looks
yeah,
at it from something that he would like to pay off, and it's ours, right?
yeah.
Whereas I look at it different. So that's just an example. But yes,
No,
you're
that's a
right.
great, and I'm sorry, Xtradonaire. I know you. That's a great example right there. No,
No, you're good.
Well, yeah,
Xtradonaire, I
well,
can do this all day. But
this,
let me say this. Lucy, that was a perfect example right there. Most people think just like Vince think. I'm like you. I'm an event. I tell my kids that I don't know. I take all the money out there and buy me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the same way with that. But I used to be again, and we might talk about it. I used to think like that because I was taught that belief. You know what I'm saying? My
Right.
mom and them thought like that, and my family thought like that. You buy a house, you die, and you pay it off. I,
Yes.
I
Yep.
changed that belief changed for me also. Go ahead.
right. No, what I was getting ready to say, I'm enjoying this dialogue. I know Vincent is, and hopefully World Premiere Word on the Street is enjoying this dialogue. But what I was getting ready to interject, you all was already there, and that I felt it was unfair that prior to her coming on, she had to deal with a question that I put on the platform. And in fairness to you, Lucy, I want you to express to the community what prompted you. This is not a question because the subject matter is when love and when love and money collide. So that topic had to be very interested to you. And we all enjoy the fact that you are on here to express your point of views. So I just want to know what is it you want to leave with the community about this subject matter that near and dear to your heart that you also believe would be beneficial for other women out there, other females out there, young women, women in general.
I think it would be a couple things. Um, First and foremost, I think for women in general, or young women, just maturing, um, have your own. Always have your own. Um, we can't predict, right, where a relationship is going to go. We can't predict whether that person's going to be there for you for the rest of your life. We can't predict that. So as a woman, always have a backup plan because especially if you have children. Um,
So when you say backup plan, you mean not backup plan as far as the men, but backup
no,
plan as
no,
far
no,
as
no, 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 no.
financing.
We're talking
Yeah,
right, right,
yeah.
right. No,
No, I'm just joking with you.
men and women are everywhere. So you know, um, so that would be the first part, and I think the second and probably the most important one for me now at this juncture in my life is the partner that I'm with, right? For me, it's very important to not put money above my relationship with him. So we had to sit and come together and determine what is our goal and what do we need to do to get to that goal. But don't lie to each other. Don't hide stuff from each other, because I feel that I mean, I don't know if you guys talk religion a lot at all, but in the eyes of God, that's not right either. So for me, my marriage comes first, children, money after. As long as you have health, you can continue to make money. But if you are in a relationship, if you're married, I believe that you should both be in the same boat, rowing in the same direction. That's my thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. You added value,
Right.
and we're certain that somebody out there, some woman out there, some young lady out there, just got help by the words and the comfort you just shared with them. Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
hopefully you will feel comfortable when we have another one of these subject matter. Hopefully you'll feel comfortable
Absolutely.
enough to come back on and express yourself. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me. Bye, guys.
Vincent, you are a lucky man, Vincent.
She's lucky too.
Did you hear what I said? Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
both still in two direct. I agree with that. I agree. What say you, Vincent?
Man, I'm just I hated to pull it to the side like that, but sometimes you got to go with what the spirit says, right? So it put pressure on her, but again, it's hard because she can't speak for all women because some women have different opinions, right? That's what makes the world very unique. What works for us won't always work for everyone. People have to find out what fits for them, right? Some people may like living within the confines of not trusting and this and that and doing stuff. I like what Keith asked because there's a progression as people get older and they start to grow and evolve and see how to manage and have those communication and those talks with your significant others, right? Trust is the most important part of that. But then again, if you fail to have the conversation, you're going to be filled with like gray areas and gaps, and it's like the most like that's harmful to the relationship. Again, I like the questions Keith asked because Keith likes to go back to where it all started from, like the root cause of things, right? There is
Yes.
evolution and you're seeing people's growth throughout that. So I'm just in a great place right now. I just was taught at an early age how to manage money by watching my mom, and we've talked about it, right? Watching the ledger, watching the checkbook, right? Even though she had a one, two, three marriages, things of that nature. I'm not trying to put her out there, right? There was something as a child that I saw. You get takeaways, right, of what you want to do and what you don't want to do, but it was the ultimate decision. But if you choose it, I think, and Keith, Larry, y'all can attest to me, one of the biggest decisions that y'all will ever make is finding your life partner. That is one of the biggest decisions that we will ever make. People want to say buying a house, choosing a car, having kids, whatever. How you choose your life partner is going to go a long way to either your health or your detriment.
I want to, before you come in, Keith, I just want to say this is really what I really enjoy so much about the amazing Keith Fletcher. Uh, Keith remind me of one of my brothers who is no longer with us on this side. I had a brother named Cornell, and Fletcher and Cornell, they have the ability to cut through a whole lot of clutter, a whole lot of stuff, and just start penetrating where it needs to be massage that. He does that so well. And Keith, I appreciate that part of you. And friends, y'all stick around because part two, we're gonna unlock the cell, and and Fletcher, hopefully, man, you ready. We just gonna let you, because this is your bread, meat, and potato, talking about finance, talking about money. But anyway, I've talked enough. What say you, Fletcher?
Yeah. We can have a commercial. And let me say, Vince very modest about money. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of quiet about it, but he knows about money. I just want to make that point about this. We'll go to break. You want to find out where I want the question I had to have for Lucy too, and I'm sorry I forgot her name. My mind went blank. I had to be honest. But I've been wanting to find out what was your first relationship with money. What was your first time when that money really hit you and you got it and it affected you. And I love that. And I'll tell my story after this, but that's what I want to ask her. And I want to pose that to you. And also, after that, I want to talk about what did divorce do to you about money? Because all of us been on this panel been divorced. You know what I'm saying? When she said, try to do this for yourself and put up and you do all the planning, then a storm come. You know what I'm saying? How did that affect you? So let's talk about
Keith,
that.
I can actually bring her back if you want, because I have a feeling I know what her answer is going to be, a little history behind her. Lucy is Mexican, right? So with her, she comes from very humble beginnings because her family used to work in the fields, and she was down there working in the fields with them at the age of 8 and 10. So me knowing my wife and the conversations that we've shared, I think for her, it's going to be knowing how to really manage money because it was hard to come by. But I can ask her to come back, Larry, if you want, or if not, just let me know. That'll actually be better for me. I can maybe stay to 8:30 if she comes on, but I don't know.
Okay. So
Yeah.
why don't we do it? Why don't we take a short commercial break, and when after the break, she could come back, and Fletcher, you can ask her that question.
All right.
Y'all good with that? Let's do
I'm
that.
gonna all of us gonna answer that question, but I want all of us because I bet you we all will have a different belief. Go ahead. Let's go. Yeah.
World premiere Word on the Streets family, tonight we're at a crossroads, and instead of guessing what direction to take, we want to hear from you. Your voice, your experiences, your struggles, your questions, they shape this platform. We're committed to bringing conversations that matter to you and for you. So next week's show, it's in your hands. Drop your ideas, your topics, the things you've been wrestling with, the conversations you wish somebody would finally have. We're ready to cross that bridge with you. Same time, same place. The world premiere Word on the Streets.
All right, family. Now it's time to go deeper. This is the moment where we peel back the layers, challenge old thinking, and get real about what's truly holding us back and what can finally push us forward. So grab your journals, lean in, and don't just listen, engage. And if something resonates with you tonight, do us a favor, subscribe, like, and share this message with someone who needs it. Because the conversation we're having is bigger than us. This is the world premiere Word on the Streets. Listen to me. Love will show you how someone feels, but money will show you how someone lives. And I'm not talking about income. I'm talking about integrity. I'm talking about honesty. I'm talking about whether two people are truly building something together or just hoping it works out. Some of you are carrying the emotional and financial weight of a relationship because you're afraid to speak up. You don't want to rock the boat. You don't want to start an argument, but hear me. Silence is the most expensive bill you will ever pay. You cannot build a future with someone who won't be honest about the present. You cannot build trust with someone who hides their habits. You cannot build stability with someone who refuses accountability. Love requires truth. Partnership requires transparency, and transparency requires courage. Some of you have been praying for peace, but you're avoiding the very conversation that creates it. You've been asking for clarity, but you're scared of what the truth might reveal. You've been hoping the situation will fix itself, But anything built on silence will eventually collapse under pressure. But hear me, when you finally sit down and talk about money, not with blame, not with fear, but with clarity, everything shifts. You stop guessing and start planning. You stop fighting each other and start fighting the problem. You stop hoping for alignment and start creating it. That's when love becomes partnership. That's when partnership becomes purpose. And that's when purpose becomes peace. So tonight, I need you to stop running from the truth. Stop protecting someone's comfort at the cost of your future. Stop pretending everything is fine when your spirit knows it's not. Love deserves honesty. Your future deserves clarity. And you deserve a relationship that can hold the weight of real life. All right, family, keep those comments rolling. We're locking right back into when love and money collide.
And welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Part 2. I told you this was going to be a hot topic, an interesting topic. And friends, it was so good. You all ever heard the phrase, so nice, I got to do it twice? Well, we enjoy Lucy so much, we had to ask Vincent, man, can you get her back in here? And ladies and gentlemen, we're happy that he did say yes in return. Now, Fletcher have a question he'd like to ask you, if you don't mind, Fletcher.
I'm asking the whole panel this. So again, I believe relationship with money, we go back. So about money, two parts of the question. One about your first relationship when you had money, because none of us came from a rich family, none of us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna set the stage. I'm from Louisiana. I never had no money. I might have some pennies. My Aunt Bertie to give me my mom would give me $100, $50 or $100, and it was crazy to us. It was just blew my mind. But when I moved to Texas, I got a job at Arby's, and I got my first check, and I had plans for that check. And back in the day in Texas, we wore designer. Everybody in my era, you wore designer Gucci, you wore designer. So I get my little check, and I say, oh, I'm going shopping. I went bought me a Louis Vuitton belt and a shirt. That's all my check. My check was like $300, all I got. Now I got a whole 2 weeks to wait for my next check. I had no money. Mama didn't want to give me no money. So right there, I learned right there about money, saving my money. You know what I'm saying? About, okay, if I'm going to buy something, buy a shirt here, next check, buy some shoes here. So that was my first thing with money, that it shocked me that I thought what a lot of money was, what I felt about money. That changed my way about money. So that's the question. What was your first experience with money, and did you have all these grand plans, and what did that shape the way you think about money? That's it. Go ahead, Lucy.
Well, I'm thinking, because very similarly, I mean, we came from very humble beginnings. When I started making a little bit of money, I was in college working in their special education, department. And the little bit of money I made really was to help my family. My dad had spinal meningitis in 1999. So that kind of forced me to grow up a little bit too soon. I had to essentially help financially because he couldn't work. So really the first money I was making was going to help my mom and dad. Once I got married, moved out, I was all about saving my money because I wanted a house. So that was my goal. So it was funny, we were talking about that today at work. I had my first house by the age of 23, 24, because I already had my son. So I had my son at 20. So everything I was making, I went from helping my parents to now supporting and helping my immediate family. you know, working alongside my ex-husband and already having a child. So that was really where my money was going. Truthfully, I never really spent a whole lot of money on myself. I think the next thing after that was a car, right? I mean, we were spending money on making car payment and house payment. So I really didn't get the opportunity to actually splurge with, you know, in my early years when I started working.
So let me, and thank you for sharing that. Let me ask, I think what Keith is getting at, and I think this will help the audience too. So with the topic being love and money, how it collides, and again, it's not to put anybody out there to shame anybody or anybody else. So I got to be right with my questioning. With your first husband, and again, from the culture, from the Hispanic community, from like the Mexican community, it's real big on family, right? With the money that you were making, was it ever a problem? Did you have to get the okay to him to send money to your parents to
No,
help out?
no,
Gotcha. All right. So
no.
there was an understanding up front. Was it because of the culture or was it because of the conversations that were shared and had?
I think it was really kind of it was a non-verbal agreement almost, because he was helping his mother as well. So our money was our parents. So yeah, I mean, it was almost like an unspoken, not rule, but agreement,
Gotcha.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Vince, what's your story with it?
My experience as far as what?
The money, when you first got money, you know what I'm saying?
To be honest, man,
Like
you
you said,
know,
we came from a background, but you know, her culture, Spanish, you know, immigrant culture is different than ours. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, I know a lot of people, you know, come from different parts of that. I always send money back home to family. Even when they have funerals, they will have money envelope for family. You know, in our culture, we don't do that. So that was said. I'm showing you that. Now, what was your first experience? Like say
my
when you got
first
money.
experience, man, and thanks for asking this question, Keith. You mean like money that I actually earned as far as working?
Yep, money that you earn, work. Yeah, money that you earn. You got
Okay.
your money, your own money that you
So,
earn, and you have,
so
yeah.
part of me earning money was my mom was trying to entice me because when she went through a divorce, she saw that I had slid and she was trying to make sure she was trying to wave a carrot in front of me. So part of me making money was getting good grades in school. So for a certain amount of A's, I would get money. B's, I would get money. Right? As parents, we try to find something that can gravitate. Not everyone does it, right? But my mom, being a single parent at the time, she had to find something other than just sports to, like, hey, how can I get him serious about school? Because like my wife, her goal was to raise good citizens, right? Respectable people. My mom, it was like, hey, I'm gonna pay you to make certain grades because she knew that it was like, hey, I needed an extra push, right? I either had the guys in the neighborhood, I had a couple of uncles that came through, as we have talked about, Keith, Larry, on these shows, right? Even though there wasn't a man consistently present, there was neighborhood, there was friends. So for me, when I got my money, man, it was just more so like you, Keith. I wanted some nice shoes. I wanted some clothes, right? But then when I started working, I was like, I was scared to spend it because it didn't always come easy, right? So for me, it was more so, how do I keep what I have and not blow it and not spend it? Because like you said, Keith, $300, you wait another 2 weeks. I'm trying to see how can I make this add up? How can I continue to watch it grow, right? For me, it was like splurge a little bit, but money management was taught not by my mom's mouth, but by her actions, as I've shared with y'all consistently. So I had a good role model with the examples that she was giving me on how to manage money. Now, it doesn't always work like that because we can teach our kids that, but if they're not interested, they're going to do whatever the heck they want with it. So my experience with money was, it was early. So hope that answers the question, boss.
Yeah, yeah, that's a question.
Yeah.
Xtradonaire, go ahead and get your breaks on about the money when you
Yeah,
first.
well, uh, to condense it real quickly, I never knew what to do with money. Uh, I when I was younger, like both of you all, perhaps, I was able to get money and make money, but I was unable to keep money because I had no knowledge of how to make money work for me. In fact, when I was a kid, I wrote a check to myself as a kid for $50,000, a check to myself when I was, I mean, way young, because I always saw myself as always having plenty of money, but I never understood money. And later in life, when I got married, that didn't work out well at all. I was making good money, but in so many horror stories in bad relationship, if you're married in a relationship that is not good, money, and already you don't know how money works, what to do to make it grow. That will soon leave. So then I found myself in a horrible marriage, bleeding money from every angle imaginative. And some way, somehow, you think that you're the same person, that same young man, that you can always, because I had a grandiose ideal about life. I always believe I can always generate income because I always had the ability to generate income. But life changes as we get older, and America quickly changed before our very eyes. And money didn't come by as quickly, as plentiful as it once did in my life. And on top of that, being clueless and knowing about good financial habits, what credit mean, knowing all those things that Fletcher and Vincent, you all consider as basic knowledge, I was clueless. And when you're clueless about those important things, guess what, family? You can find yourself getting left behind. And the more you get left behind, then it get compounded by embarrassment. You already carrying the weight of having a bad marriage. That didn't work out. So that's a lot of shame. That's a lot of things going on inside you there. And on top of it, you're broke. You feel like you feel absolutely like a failure. And these type of thoughts and behavior hang with you for a very long time. And it takes some time to get out of it. So that basically encapsulates where I was and the middle part and dealing with life, real life right now. I hope that helps somebody.
It does. It does. Thank you for
Well,
sharing that.
the point I make, everybody had a story about money, and it wasn't a short story. It wasn't a short story about it. You know what I'm saying? But all us talking about money, you know what I'm saying? Lucy said it. At 24, she had a house. Now, Lucy, neither one of us said we had to give money to our family. We had to give money to our mama. We said what we did with money and all that, but she had to give money to her mama, her daddy and them, the family and all that from day one. Never said I spend a pen on myself, but Lucy bought a house.
Yeah.
And the person who you think is more successful, the one that had the roughest time at that, but she knew had enough evidence to give to give that. You know, somebody was like, "Oh my God, look, she had to give money to her family. Why would you have to give money?" But look what she did in the process. But I'm just saying, but look what you learned. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
power that going through that. You know, look what it did for you. You know what I'm saying? The
And
power of
that's
going through that made you push towards that. Even Vince's story, the power there. So these beliefs, that's what I'm saying, is money. You know, we sit there and talk about money more than we talk about God. And people want to say religion and all that. It's tied into together, but we're talking about how important money made in our lives. You know what I'm saying? Money not bad. It's these
no.
things we just say, the perceptions we made of money and what we went through with money. You know what I'm saying? That's what the point I was making. And I don't know if we have time, like I said, even if we talk about divorce, if we talk about, okay, I did all these things right. I got the money, I put the stuff up, and what happens when you go through that divorce? You see, that's another game change. You know what I'm saying? That's another game that has added a belief to your system, to the way you think, in your bloodstream, your frequency. That divorce has changed. Xtradonaire just told you, listen to passion when he talked about what divorce did. You know what I'm saying? With me too, when I went through divorce, I lost everything. I don't know how much money, because I wouldn't equip. The money I thought, the way I did things, I thought it would work. But when I went through that divorce, you know what I'm saying, it changed everything. And I'm a pass it to Vince, but when I saw Vince go through his divorce, I hope you don't mind me saying it, you know what I'm saying? And I remember saying it, and Vince kept the house. I was like, man, if he went through a divorce, he still got his house, he still got his car, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying things, I'm not talking about his mind, but to have those things after that was amazing to me, because sometimes you can lose everything, as Xtradonaire say, you can lose your shirt. And to see him come out with that things, it was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So it's others, and again, that's a different story. Xtradonaire tell his story, and Vince tell his story. It's two different stories about money. You see what I'm saying? Two different stories about divorce. Vince, I got my house, I got this, I went on. We separated, cordial, whatever, but Xtradonaire tell another story. I tell another story. So that's what I want to say about money. There's so much things tied into money, and most of them is our feelings, our emotions, and our beliefs. That's what I was going to on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I was going to comment on is, when him and I started dating, and I knew obviously that he had stayed in that house after his divorce. The same thing was with me, but I think the difference there was that we both, or the reason there was because we both had the kids. But I feel that, at least for me personally, when I went through my divorce and I stayed in my house, I stayed because that's where my kids were born, right? That's where they were growing up. But what nobody thinks is, yes, you keep the house, you keep the car, but you also keep the bills that come with it. So the money, right? Because at that point, yeah, it's cool, right? I house. Now who's going to help me make the mortgage payment?
Yeah.
Now who's going to help me make the utility payments, right? And when you can't count necessarily with money from the father or the mother, then it becomes a challenge. But if you just, stick with it, then, again, to me, I saw it as an investment. I knew that at some point in time I could take money out of there. But yeah, I was just gonna add those couple.
No, that was perfectly what you said. Like you said, we don't think about that. Like you said, I'm looking at the house, but like you said, I'm not thinking about now he got to do the whole pie. He got to,
Yeah.
and that's what I was saying too. Like, man, he got to carry all of that. You know what I'm saying? So then it's the emotion part of it. You and your wife and husband was in the house together. Now he gone. It's so much tied into this
Right.
thing we call money, and we don't talk about it enough. That's why I'm saying I like to talk about it. And people always like, man, you always talk about money. I say the problem is we don't talk about it enough. You know what I'm saying? And you can defeat this thing. It's not a magical creature. You can learn to understand what money is for. So that's why I talk about money. And we talk about it more, like you said, and get understanding in our relationship. Just like you said, now that I know that your situation with your money, like my wife been taking care of her mama since she been 14. So money, we were just saying, I said, baby, you done lived with somebody all your life. She went from my mama to somebody that just came to me. You know what I'm saying? So she never had a place by herself. You know what I'm saying? So her way of money was always two people. You know what I'm saying? So the relationship with money, we don't think about like, you just think about you. Well, this is what I want, but you need to get deep and see what people think about money, how they feel about money when you get in that relationship. And you would open up a lot of doors that would make us talk about money more. Not about the material money, but your relationship with money. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to talk about more, I feel. Yeah.
It's been said, and I think we all have heard this phrase. It's been said that the truth shall set you free. And Fletcher, you said it so perfectly, and you did as well, Lucy, is that we don't talk about money enough because of the sensitivity the not wanting to hurt someone feeling, not thinking we can approach it in the right way. And the more we avoid these areas like this, the bigger the monster grow, the bigger the fear grow, the bigger the thoughts in your head grow. And the best way to destroy all of that is to bring it out and put it forth on the table. Yeah, you're right, folks. We need to talk about money more, because the more we talk about it, then it could be as normal as we talk about everything else that we do and say. Imagine if we could talk about money, gentlemen, the same way we talk about sports. Just imagine. Or the same way we talk about cars. And women, what if we could talk about money the same way we talk about shoes? I'm just saying, just saying.
Right,
Listen,
right.
talk to us. Since we got you here, I want to hear more from you.
Well,
So, well, I mean, I think in at the beginning for us, and I think you mentioned it earlier, Keith. We were on our own for a long time. We were the decision makers of, our household, of our money, of just the kids, just everything. So when we came together, I think the conversation about money was so, I don't want to say challenging, but
It was taboo.
it was taboo. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. It was
yeah,
taboo,
yeah.
right? Because so I have, my 401k with my company, and I've been with them for 22 years. I've got my stock, options with them. I've got all of that. So I had a really rough time disclosing all of that.
Mm.
So that was difficult for me because I felt that I was now vulnerable, right, to and giving somebody an opening to what I have that I've worked for, right? So that at the beginning was hard for us, but again, we're already in our 40s, getting together, having to merge stuff. You're like, wait a minute, like I have to tell you how much money I got. Like, that was difficult. But fast forward to now, I wouldn't want to have it any other way, right? I mean, it's definitely something that needed to happen, conversations that needed to be had. And I think that helped in our relationship and our trust in one another. And again, talking about where we wanted to go from here. But yeah, that was a very difficult conversation for us to have.
And see, I didn't give her a reason not to trust me with that information. I just think me and Keith used to always talk about one voice, like one voice. Like I have I don't want to say luxury as being a single parent for 10 years, right? She said it, being a decision maker. There's one voice in the house, and that was the adult. When individuals are married, which is a great thing, if you're not always going to be on the same page, right? Whether it be with bringing the kids up, certain decisions that are made. But I didn't give her a reason. As a coach, I always say, give me a reason to keep you on the field, on the court, on the baseball diamond. As don't give me a reason to take you off.
Oh my
So I lived
goodness.
that, and it's like I lived that, and it's like with the examples that I gave her, it took time, right? Even today, like if Keith will tell you, I'm private. I don't get into my financial talk. I don't give you my business. Someone asked me that I've been knowing for 20 years, how much did you buy your car? I'm like, bro, I'm not telling you that.
Hey, he ain't telling you nothing.
Like,
He ain't
like,
gonna tell you how much you paid for the tires or the rims. He ain't telling you nothing. That's nothing.
like that's just in the sense of, she said it perfectly, vulnerable, right? Because some people, she could have disclosed that, And there are people out there, they'll use you and they'll see an opening like, oh, I'm gonna drain this dry, right? I'm gonna take advantage of it. And it's sad to hear that, but I didn't give her a reason to shine away from that, right? So when we had the discussions, when we had the talks, when we talked to the financial advisor, we're disclosing a lot, right? Of like she said, that's 20 years worth of stocks. That's a lot of stuff, and now you're combining that, and there's a mutual level of what she said when she first came on, trust. If she did not trust me, I am pretty sure she wouldn't have disclosed that to me, husband or not. I don't know. But I didn't give her a reason for her not to trust me with that information because she saw what I was doing, right? So when she saw how I was managing money, and again, with the conversations that we've had, that kind of opened the door. So,
Yeah.
Man, hey, we cracking some egg right here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you.
Yeah, to get Vince to
I'm
talk about
telling you.
money, to get him to talk about money, and her to say that, even her saying that on, I got my 20 years of 401k, you know what I'm saying? You can just do the math in your head. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that's huge for her to even speak about that right now, because some people wouldn't even say that. They're like, I got a 401k and shut up. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, everybody I tell you, you don't even know how long I've been doing, but like you said, to be that trust. But I'm gonna say one thing I saw about when Vince and Lucy got together. Again, I know Vince. Vince reminded me of my brother. You in the back of the day, you'd call him cheap. You know what I'm saying? That's the word we used back in the day. It was cheap. So yeah, when
I
Vince
still,
started traveling,
I still teeter with that, Keith.
yeah. But let me say, when Vince started traveling, I knew. I said, "Ooh, that woman got Vince moving." And then,
You know why? You know why? Because I told him either we go together or I go by myself.
and,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
and then look, you bought and that car you bought. I said, "Oh, my boy, love for real. He just think that this is oh." I said, I know his teeth just grinding right now because
Yeah.
Vince is like that with money. You know what I'm saying? But again, it takes someone to come. And if Lucy didn't know about money, Vince would have never. I'm telling you, Vince said that he felt a certain way, but Lucy also. I mean, Lucy felt a certain way. Vince did too. You knew about money. You see what I'm saying? Vince knew you knew about money and how you handled money. You see what I'm saying? So he felt free to say, you know what, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? I can open up the books a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You made it showing him that. Even though in his back of his mind, he like, oh my God, scared to death, but you made it feel better, you know what I'm saying, with the relationship and talking about money and seeing money a different way. You know what I'm saying? He got to see money a different way. You know what I'm saying? Than what he's seen in the past in other relationships with other women, he got to see it different. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, this gonna be a working process till y'all expire. You know what I'm saying? Because money changes. Like I say, it's currency, it's frequency, it's always moving. And money, just like now, money's moving and me and Vince to crypto. You know what I'm saying? Now we got to figure out how we use crypto, how we use this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So money is always moving and changing, and we think it's like this big secret. It just that's what it is. Money's all. What we need to control is the emotion part of it. Once you understand the emotion part of it and understand and coming up with a plan, and that's what Vince do very well. You know what I'm saying? I know Lucy, I can tell you do too, Lucy. When you just said 20 years in a 401k, that take patience. You know what I'm saying? Going through a divorce and still put that money in that 401k, that take dedication, discipline. You know what I'm saying? And the word I say, that means you was responsible. So that's what Vince saw. Vince saw responsibility and you saw responsibility. So now you say, I can disclose my money to him. You see what I'm saying? I can be vulnerable because they're responsible. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I love talking about money. And again, when I met Vince, my money was not together. I wasn't together. But Vince, again, he don't talk about money. You hear yourself. You can feel a person how they carry themselves. You hear them talking how they talking. They don't have to be a number. It's how they talking. And I say it's like a different language. And when you start understanding the language, you don't have to say a number. You can just start how they talking. You know what I'm saying? How they care, how they responsive, how they dedicated to it. And they ain't said nothing about a number. They ain't said nothing about amount. It's just how they talk about things. And once we start understanding that, it ain't about the money, the amount. It's about what you do with it and how you do it, how it flows. That's what it's about.
Right.
Agreed.
Like that, like
And,
that.
and world premiere Word on the Street community. Tonight, we have laid a lot of golden eggs for you to go and crack. Friends, we are encouraging you. In fact, we are challenging you to stop making money the boogeyman. Take the bandage off and start talking about money. Because what money is like the hubcap. And what have we learned and discovered in this dialogue tonight? We learned that money opened up an avenue, an opportunity for some real serious honesty. And what's better than having some pure honesty between one another, especially honesty with yourself? I mean, getting real with yourself is a revelation. And when you get real with yourself, all because of this thing called money that we was taught to avoid, that we were mixed up with the teaching that is the root of evil, maybe the lesson should have been, it's the key to opening up, of discovering who you really are. Can you be trusted with yourself? And when you could get trusted with yourself, then you can share that part of you with someone else. And when you can do that, friends, just like Lucy there, she grew up, it was an unspoken that you reach back and help and elevate your parent. Didn't have to be asked, didn't have to be told. And see, isn't that the same thing as planting seeds? You plant a seed in the ground, and lo and behold, we're surprised. A flower grow, a tree grow, a rose grow. And then when you get knowledge in how that rose grew, and you learn you can multiply and you can have a whole rose garden. That's money. Money can do that. See, these metaphors come into my head. They easily come into your head when you are no longer afraid. Fear keeps our mind from growing in all different places. And when you unscrew the cap and allow yourself to fall in love with things that you once was afraid of, then you can even face being vulnerable. Again, just like Lucy said, she had built up something here, her 401k, over years and years and years. But she was willing. You had to be willing to share that with someone else. She came through a bad experience. She had a divorce. When you have a divorce, that's not good. It wasn't good. And now she's asked to show this, her 20 years of work. The ideal, what if you know what I got? But she was able to remove all of that and trust again. That thing, and what it goes back to, money, that money thing that we have been taught from a child to be afraid of. And Fletcher have helped me to grow so much in this area. And through hearing Fletcher conversation, it seems that Vincent has helped Fletcher to grow so much in this area. And hearing the conversation, Vince's mother has helped him. You see how this works? We're in this world together. It takes a village. You can't do it by yourself, man, woman. It takes a village. But if you leave here tonight, know this one thing, you can do it. You can get out of the hole you're in. You have to just face it, learn, grow, and deal with it. It's not easy, but hell, it's worth it. That's what we need to start asking. Is it worth it? See, we've been taught the one that we focus on is going to be hard. Well, let's focus on how much is it worth? Look at the benefits. I'm done, man, because I'm driven from this conversation. I'm passionate from what I've heard and I've learned, and I hope our listening audience have learned something from this conversation. Somebody give me an umbrella to get me out of this rain.
No, I'm just thankful for my wife being able to come here, being able to share her story. She's private in her own right. Like I think we all are due a certain level of privacy. But for her to come on here and to be vulnerable on the show and to share, right? Because as it says, iron sharpens iron. So I hope the information that she gave not only helps young women, like all women, not even just women, just men, right? And I hope that married couples come, people that's probably thinking about marriage or with your partner, whatever. I'm hoping that what we've planted as a group tonight, as you said, has taken root and is a seed for other people to just come back to and just listen, because I feel like this is one of those ones that is going to be a resource for all to be able to use, and we all contributed. Just like having her on the show, and thank you guys for welcoming her. You want to say something?
Yeah, sure. Thank you again. And if I want to leave with this, just saying this, that talking about just money and, love or couples, let's break those generational curses when it comes to that as well. When it comes to money, the things that we weren't taught when we were kids, that's why I tried to get my house at an early age, because that wasn't what I was taught, but I knew I wanted to do better and I wanted to position my family in a better place. But learning to sharpen, right? To like you said, iron sharpens iron. To once you find that person, to trust enough that and grow together, and allow that person to also grow with you. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity. I'm not used to doing these things, but if it helps somebody, then I've done my job. And Selena, I want to say hi to you. Thanks. I saw your shout out. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Thank you, gentlemen.
Well, I
You
want to
did
thank
exceptionally well.
yeah, I want to thank you for
Fletcher,
coming out. Yeah, I want to thank Lucy for coming and giving it out. But Lucy, I'm going to tell you that the thing is, more of us need to tell our story. More of us need to hear that. You might think like you said, getting a house at 24, that's huge, especially where you came from. So, we hear everybody complain and be victims all the time. What this and what that. I tell everybody, in America, you're in the best place ever. We can talk all we want to say, but for someone to come from where you come from, to say that then went through a divorce and still to be standing right here after that, you got to stir the tail. You know what I'm saying? And we hear a lot of victims instead of hearing the bad. Let's see the good. Like I say, lack and abundance travel together. You know what I'm saying? It depends which one you want to grab. Lack and abundance travel together. So it's about you telling your story more, Lucy, and being open like this, man. Because like people say, I'm private, I don't want to tell no one. Man, that one person you can help. They needed to hear that. You know what I'm saying? That one for me was when I worked at a home builder and I went into one of my homeowners' houses and I was looking for, I answered the door, and the young lady answered the door and I said, "Is your mother home?" He said, "What?" I said, "I'm looking for so-and-so. Is your mother home?" He said, "My mother don't live here." I said, "Well, I have an appointment with someone." She said, "It's me." And I was looking at her like, "You, it's a 4-bedroom house." She's 19. She said, "This is my home." I said, "What?" You know what I'm saying? Like, it blew my mind just to be able to see that. But what it opened up my mind was, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? It's possible for anyone. You know what I'm saying? Once you see that, once you hear it, once you touch it. So I thank you, Lucy, for coming on, man. You think you didn't do a lot, man. You gave a lot. And some people might not understand it, because I didn't understand it first. But when you start seeing and hearing it, and you start working in your mind, like saying, how did she get a house at 24? You know what I'm saying? How? You know what I'm saying? And they start opening, that's all it is. Take that seed, like Xtradonaire said, and it open the door to so much. So I thank you. when you and Vince, and I know how private he is, to get on here and open up. And I hope
Right.
people can come look at this show for real, man, because y'all dropped some nuggets. And I thank y'all. We thank you for coming on here because, man, trust and with money, man, it's hard to say that, tell people about, and we scared to death of it. And so, but to come on here, I commend y'all. I thank y'all, man. Y'all, I'm telling you, if someone listens to this show,
Absolutely.
y'all have helped a lot of people. Man. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
In the
Appreciate that.
chat room, Selena is really, she got some wonderful comments for you, Lucy. She said, I enjoyed you being on tonight. You were a true inspiration to the show. And yes, you were.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you,
So,
Steve. Thank you.
hopefully, friends, we're going to wrap it up tonight. We really had a wonderful show tonight, and we enjoy having Lucy join us tonight, opening up.
Imagine, Lucy, how I felt being on here. You know, you really got naked on here. I'm using the phrase, but it was, how did it feel
Yeah,
for you to come on here
yeah.
and express yourself? Just tell me that before we go. How did that feel? And
Yeah.
have you ever done it before?
No, we did Bible or not.
We
Was it
did
the
a
men's group?
Bible. I was on like a men's hotline
Yeah.
Bible group, and one time she was able to come in as my wife, and she was able to share her side of it as well. So yeah,
Yeah. So it's second time, but it felt
Well,
great.
I'm telling you, you did great. Most High must got something for you. So don't, now you open up now. You got to go and use it now. He got you doing something. You know what I'm saying? You did real
claim that,
well.
speak
You
that.
did
There
real
we
Yes.
go.
well. You did real
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
I
Thank
can
you.
you try to, you know what I'm saying, open up more because you got something to tell and help people, you know. And I see you want to help people, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it might not be on the video, but I'm telling you, you got a story to tell, man. So, you know, and we take it lightly. I'm telling you, we all do take it. No, it wasn't nothing. I did it. No, man, people need to hear it, you know. So for real, they do.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you did an exceptional job. Uh, same thing, ditto, Vincent. You all were a beautiful couple,
Thank you.
and the sky's the limit, or the opportunities for the both of you all. Uh,
I appreciate y'all both
Lucy,
speaking that out.
yeah,
We're gonna probably try to manifest that because there's some things that God has shown us, and as a husband and wife, I think it's our obligation to pour into others.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Keith spoke that. I like the fact that you spoke that. That just serves as confirmation. I like what Selena, uh, Ladiana have been saying as well. It just basically waters our soul for us to hear what God is putting out there for us. And it'll happen in due time, right? I don't want to sit on it, but she has to feel comfortable. We both have to be in agreement. I think this show helped give us another platform for us to see how we can help other couples also.
and like Fletcher and I said when the aromatherapist lady, Miss Shonda Bertrand, came on and she exited out and started doing her own show. It felt so good to say the birthplace was world premiere,
There we
word
go.
on the streets.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, that is a wonderful feeling. But look, anybody have some last word before we drive out of here? It's been a blast. This has been a great show. Lucy, you brought us some stuff, girl. Get out of here.
I just want to tell them for real a word of encouragement for Lucy. Like I say, if you do it, look, I always focus on one person. If I that one, for me, extraordinary starting this out, it was, you know what I'm saying, you get all caught up in the weed, but focus on if I can help this one person. And helping that one person, that's the person you help can help a million people. But like Extraordinaire said, it started right here with us. That one person that you touch might go out and touch a million people. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. And I'm saying, so we do it,
Yeah.
y'all look good together. Now we need this. We say, how do we help the young people by seeing somebody standing, both of y'all standing by each other, telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Giving your truth and saying, yes, it wasn't easy, but we made it through. And there's some ways we made it through. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing right there, because I think we take for granted what we went through. And I think that's how the Most High works. We all go through some things. You have to help other person, you know what I'm saying? So Again, y'all look good at it too, man. You look good. I know personally know both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I know you threw Vince, Lucy, but I know Vince and what he picked too. You know what I'm saying? So he do well. He do very well. They just the person get through Vince. You know, once you got through him, you know what I'm saying? Cracking that egg is a hard egg to crack. You crack that egg. So that's it, man. Yeah, it's a hard egg to crack. You crack it.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Latiana, as well. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right,
Anything
folks.
we start there?
Make sure y'all, if you haven't already, what's that, Vincent?
No, I was gonna see, is there anything that you want to close out with?
I'm sorry
I
you
said,
broke up.
is there
He
anything
already, he
What?
already
you want to
closed
close
out.
out
He
with?
already closed out what he said. He said anything you
All
want
right,
to close out.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing, listening audience. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe to our channel and also leave us a comment. As you heard, we normally have a show for you. This coming week, we don't have one because we want you to give us your input. What subject matter you want us to dive into for next Thursday? We hope to hear from you. Leave us your views, your comments, your opinion in the description, and we're going to read them and we're going to make that happen for you. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the world premiere Word on the Streets. We can't wait to be back with y'all. Same time, same place, 7:30.
And that wraps up another powerful episode of world premiere Word on the Streets. We're live every Thursday evening at 7:30 Central Standard Time, and we'd love to have you join us again. So take a moment to subscribe, tap that like button, and become part of this growing community. Until next time, guard your thoughts, speak only what you truly want to experience, and stay laser focused on what matters. Your words shape your world, and your mindset fuels your mission. We'll see you again, same time, same place, right here on world premiere Word on the Streets, where truth meets transformation. Stay strong, stay grounded, and as always, stay true.